In today's video, I'll be showing you guys the easiest way to solo the Nightmare mode in Dead Rails. This game mode is much harder than the regular mode, but using the method in this video, you can beat it within 40 to 50 minutes. So if you enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The class we'll be using for this will be the Conductor class. The reason we're using the Conductor is because you can drive the train much faster. Plus, you spawn in with 2 coal, and we'll be trying to reach the end as fast as possible. The downside is that you don't spawn in with any weapons, but that's not a problem as long as you follow what I do. In the game, the first thing you want to do is pick up your 2 coal. Then after selling the gold bar, buy 3 more pieces of coal. We want to reach the Tesla lab as fast as possible, since there we can get over $250 for free, which can set us up for the rest of the game. Also be sure to grab the 3 newspapers and weld them to the train like I do. From here on, you just want to keep on driving. The main things we'll be looking for is a Tesla lab, empty houses, and possibly a unicorn, which is obviously very rare, so you probably won't even find one, but if you do, be sure to sell it for some good money. Due to the fact that the Nightmare mode makes every enemy tougher, it's best to stay away from any threats. Of course, there are rare situations where you may run over a group of cowboys, which has happened to me, and in that case, you can just sell their bodies for extra money. Anyways, the rest of the 10-kilometer zone is just me driving, and nothing really happens until I reach the first checkpoint. There, I found a house right next to the safe zone, meaning all the zombies inside were dead, so I just took the loot and sold it. I would have bought some coal, but there wasn't any in the general store, so I just drove away. Not before checking this other house next to the safe zone, which unfortunately didn't have anything. Anyways, I kept on driving for a bit longer, and if you haven't noticed already, most of this run is just going to be driving, since it's too risky to fight anything in this mode. After a bit, I found a furniture store right next to a Tesla lab, and the good thing was that there was no zombies nearby. So I looted the furniture store, then in the morning, I looted the Tesla lab. The good thing about the Tesla lab is that it has a bunch of loot early game with no threats. You can find valuables like gold and silver, plus the best part about all this, the brain jar. You can sell this for $250, plus all the other valuables you might have gotten. And I did exactly that. The rest of the 20 kilometers was just me driving towards the safe zone, and when I made it there, I sold everything I had for a good $482. With that money, I bought snake oil, a rifle with ammo, and I once again tried to buy coal, but they didn't have any. Also, be sure to get a bunch of ammo for your rifle, at least 100 bullets, since enemies can't be one-shot anymore. Now I ended up finding the Sterling town, which was right next to the safe zone. And since I needed some coal, I went inside to grab some. I would only recommend going into one of these if you need some coal or valuables, since they can be pretty dangerous at times. So it's not worth the risk going in there for any other reason. From there, I went straight to the next checkpoint and sold the 2 gold nuggets I had, then bought some more snake oil and finally bought some more coal as well. Now I was pretty much set up for a while. The plan was to head straight to the 80-kilometer zone and only stop for things like empty furniture stores, dead cowboys, and whatever else could get me more money and coal without any risks. And speaking of dead cowboys, at the 40-kilometer zone, there was a group of cowboys by the safe zone, so I ended up leading them to the turrets to kill them easily. Of course, you could also use your rifle, but I thought this was just easier. In the end, I sold their bodies and bought some more coal and also a camera, which would allow me to go into third person while driving. It's not needed at all, but I thought it was pretty cool. After that, I found one of these buildings that had lots of coal inside, which was good since you can never have too much coal. Then, it became a blood moon, so I drove straight to the 50-kilometer zone. I didn't really do anything there except buy some more ammo, and for the next 10,000 meters, it was literally just me driving. At this point, I was pretty much set up for the rest of the game, so nothing too interesting happened. Then, I got to the 60-kilometer zone. I just bought some more ammo and checked a random house which had nothing inside. At this point, you should have everything you could need, but if not, then be sure to buy ammo, snake oil, and some coal. After that, I went straight to the 70-kilometer zone. There, I found a gunsmith with some ammo inside, plus some cowboys nearby, but I didn't really need anything else, so I didn't bother killing them. At this point, you should already be fully prepared with a rifle, lots of ammo, and some snake oil too, since this is the final safe zone before the end of the game. I got prepared with some more of the stuff I just mentioned. Then I went straight to the 80-kilometer zone. If you've been following along, so far this whole run should have been pretty easy, and at this point in the recording I was only around 38 minutes into the game, so pretty good time for a nightmare mode run. Anyways, once you make it to the end, kill off any zombies that might be in the area, then focus on killing the bandits in the turrets. Once that's done, move your train farther up and start killing all the bandits inside the camp itself. I'll speed this part up so you guys can see how I do it. Overall, this is probably the easiest part of the whole run, at least in my opinion, and as long as you lure each bandit out one by one and shoot them with your rifle, you should be good. Plus, if you ever get shot, you can just use a snake oil to heal yourself fully. Once everyone on the ground is dead, start focusing on the back turrets, and once they're dead, you can either loot each house for some extra bonds or go straight to the lever and lower the bridge. Either way, you're going to have to lower the bridge, and once you do, it's best to jump off where I am and land on the bottom of one of these pillars. You can sit down here while the timer ticks down and you'll be completely safe. I'm going to speed this up so you guys know it actually works. If you've watched any of my other Dead Rail videos, which you should, then you probably already know of this trick. But if you didn't, then here you go. In a second here, you'll see that I finally had beaten the Nightmare mode after around 45 minutes. Also, when you beat the game on Nightmare, you get 20 bonds instead of 10, which is pretty nice. Anyways, if you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, then leave them down in the comments below and I'll try to answer as many as I can. And I hope this video has helped you, so yeah, see ya.